July marks not just the start of a new financial year, but also the perfect time to hit reset on your business. It's a moment where you can take stock of what's working, what's not, and how you can set yourself up for success in the months ahead. In this episode, I'm sharing the exact process we use in our business every July to reset, realign, and reboot. It's a practical step-by-step framework that helps us stay focused on our goals, serve our clients better, and most importantly, create a business that supports the life that we want to live. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Business BFF, the podcast where fierce and fabulous business women come together for the kind of real talk and honest advice only your besties would give. I'm your host, Emma Bowdler, founder of The Women's Accountant, and I'm here to help you navigate the wild world of business, finance, and life. Whether you're scaling up, starting fresh, or just need a pep talk from someone who gets it, you're in the right place. So grab your favorite bevy and get comfy. It's time for a chat with your business BFFs. So welcome back. Let's talk about, realigning and resetting our business come the new financial year. It's July, it's an exciting time, and I really like it because we can do it mid-year. And so we're not worried about the busyness of January when everybody's doing New Year's resolutions and all of the things that happen come at that time of the year. So the first thing that we like to do in our business, and we encourage all of our businesses, clients to do it, is a year in review. So what that is about is really looking at the entire prior financial year and having a look at what worked, what didn't, and what needs to change. Now, I've been in this role for a really long time, and what I know to be true is that nothing changes if nothing changes. Okay, so what I mean by that is you can't change what's already happened, but what you can do is set a plan and make those tweaks to your business so those things don't happen into the future. And that's what business is all about. It's not about looking back, it's about understanding what's working, what's not, and how you can make things better. So, for instance, earlier this year, I sat with our practice manager, Emily, and we had a look and did a deep dive into our customer journey map. And when we did that, we discovered some of the processes that weren't working as well as they should be. And for us, they were roadblocks for potential clients, and they were stopping them from, booking with us or engaging with us. So what we did there was we identified what those issues were. And most importantly was that we didn't try to tackle them all at once. So whenever we implement something or change something in our business, we sit down, we map out the process, and then we put it into 90-day blocks. And so for us, that's really about focusing on fixing things gradually rather than thinking that you have to do things all at once. That worked beautifully for us because it kept us focused. And, if you've had anything to do with our business and you know Emily, you'll know that she holds me accountable for the bits that I need to do. That's the way we did things. And I think, when you do your review, it's not just about focusing on the things that didn't go well for you. It's really taking the time and actually celebrating the things that you absolutely nailed. And because I think often as business owners, we can overlook the wins by acknowledging, just looking at what the things that aren't going so well. But I think it's really important to acknowledge what is going well and being able to celebrate those. So that's the first thing. Have a look at what's happened. What can you change? What can you tweak? And how can you make it better going forward? The next step that we do is we like to revisit our goals. Now, the goals that you set as a business owner when you first start out could be very different to where you're at now. Maybe there's something in your life that has changed, something in your business that has changed, whatever that looks like. Once we've reviewed what's working and what's not, the next step for us is to check in on our goals. At the start of the year, we always like to set really big goals for us, whether it's more clients, more growth, more revenue, better systems, whatever that looks like. I guess the real key thing I want you to know is that by halfway in the year, it's really worth asking yourself, are these the right goals for us? One goal for us, and something that we do all the time, was we had a look at our 3-year strategic plan. And one of the biggest things that we wanted to change was a realignment this year of being more intentional about who we do and don't work with. Now, that can come across as, how do you describe it? I guess a bit like we don't work with everybody kind of vibe. But for us, instead of focusing on simply increasing revenue, we will always prioritize working with clients where our values align, where they, respect our approach and the way that we do business. So for us, business is never just about a tax return. Yeah, we can do really great tax returns, but we really want to work with businesses who want growth and scale and really value the same things that we value within our business. So why do we do that? Well, the answer is pretty simple, really, because when we work with the right clients, it just doesn't bring revenue. It brings a really great mutual respect, a smoother working relationships, and a business that we and our clients actually really enjoy running, I guess, is the short of it. So that shift for us meant that we were saying no to potential clients who weren't the right fit with us, even if it meant turning down revenue. It meant refining our messaging and our processes to attract the right kinds of clients that we absolutely love working with. And that shift also meant that we were creating really clear boundaries around the type of work that we will take on and the way in which we deliver it. So, what that actually meant for us? And for me personally, as a founder, when we decided to head up that path, it was like this entire weight had lifted off our shoulders. Like, revenue, we absolutely need revenue, but when alignment happens in your business, that to me is what's most important. Because when you're working with the right people, business is easier, it's more enjoyable, and ultimately, I think it's more successful. As you revisit your goals, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. And the first one is, am I working with people who I actually want to work with? It's a hard question, particularly if you're in that phase of trying to grow and scale and get work, but it is super important. The next question I want you to ask yourself is my business structured in a way that feels good to me? Is your work week structured in a way that gives you that healthy work-life balance? Have you got the right people in the right seats? What does that look like? And the third question I want you to ask yourself is, are my goals leading me towards alignment or just towards more? More and bigger is not always the best thing for business. And I'll talk about that later in another episode. But what I want you to think about is, if something doesn't feel right, you need to change it. And that's the beauty of running your own business, is you get to set the rules. You get to set it up in a way that you're running your business and your business isn't running you. The next thing I want you to have a think about is to simplify and streamline. Where in your business can you reduce the noise? A mid-year reset isn't just about setting new goals, it's about creating the space to achieve them. And that means looking at what takes up your time, your energy, or your resources, and that what no longer serves you in business. For us, that has been a really big focus. We've realized that as our business has grown and it has grown dramatically in the last 6 years. We have been spending too much time on the things that weren't moving the needle. Things like more administration, more manual processes, more distractions, all of those things that keep eating up valuable time that we could have been spending on higher impact work. So we've made a really, really conscious effort just to simplify. Some of the things that we did there was we cut out unnecessary steps in our processes. If it didn't add value, we absolutely got rid of it. We have leveraged automation, so things like invoicing, scheduling, email follow-ups, appointment bookings. And now for us, all of those things are happening without Emily or I or any of the other team needing to lift a finger. Absolutely, we still need to do a check-in to make sure that those things are firing in the way they are, but that's allowed us to spend more time on doing the things that we do best. And I think the biggest thing in terms of simplifying is that we stopped saying yes to things just because we could. That was a big one for me because I have always been a yes person, yes to opportunities, yes to your new work, yes to speaking engagements. And for us, we've really stepped back, and if it wasn't aligned to our bigger vision, then it got a no. And I guess the result of doing those things meant that we've had more time, we've been more focused, and we've certainly been less stressed around that. This is your chance to do the same. And so again, there's some questions I want you to ask yourself. What is draining your time but delivering very little return? Really great way to do that, and it's something I do every 3 months for myself, is I do a bit of a time audit. What am I doing? Where am I spending my time? Where have some of those administration things started to creep back in? That's a really good exercise for you to do. The next thing I want you to ask yourself is, are there services, processes, or commitments that I can just completely get rid of? Again, use that time audit to be able to do that. What are some of the tasks that I need to stop doing, I need to delegate, or are they things that I can automate? And sometimes the biggest growth comes from not just adding more, but it's from removing the things that are no longer working. What can you strip back to make room for growth, to make room for the things that really matter? They're really deep questions there, but super important for you to be able to do that. Step number 4 is to reset your habits and structure some of your time for growth. Once you've reviewed, you've realigned, and you've simplified, the next step is to make sure that your day-to-day habits support the business you actually want to run. Because if you don't create that structure for success, it's really bloody easy to fall back into that trap of consistently reacting instead of leading. For me, this has meant a complete redesign of my diary to ensure that I have time to work on the business and not just in it. If you ever send me an email on a Friday, you will always get the Friday out of office email that says, Fridays is my day to be working on my business. So that's the day for me where I do deep work, I do strategic work, and it's where I focus on the big picture decisions that move us closer to our business goals. I've dedicated slots for perspective client meetings instead of letting them just take over my calendar. Now they all have a specific time and place in my diary. I have got dedicated time slots to review client work so we can be maintaining that high quality of service without that last minute scrambling. And one of the other things that I have scheduled into my diary is planning sessions with the team. So we're proactive rather than reactive. Now, this structure keeps me focused and it makes sure that I'm spending time on the things that actually matter. And most importantly, it prevents my business from running me. If you were to have a think about your own habits, here are some questions that I want you to ask yourself. Are you making time for the high value work, or are you stuck in the day-to-day tasks? How does that sit with you? Do you control your schedule, or does it control you? What one small change could help you create more structure and clarity? What does that look like for you? Because at the end of the day, your business should be built to work for you, not against you. Have a think about that. See how it sits and what can you take to implement yourself. Now, step number 5 is all about accountability. And so making changes in your business is one thing, but sticking to them is another. And if there were one thing that I know to be true, is that accountability is the difference between good intentions and real progress. It's a big one. It's something that I struggle with. I can plan till the cows come home, but unless I have that accountability, shit just doesn't happen. That's why we act as business BFFs to our clients. And so we're not just about giving them the strategy, but we're really about helping them stay on track and actually following through. And because, let's be honest, without accountability, it's really easy to get caught up in the daily grind and let your big plans fall by the wayside. And I'm not just saying it for the sake of it, because I live it. As I said before, even I need someone to keep me accountable. And it's why I have a business coach. So I need someone to kick my butt when I need it. And I'm sure she's listening to this. But I also get held accountable to my team. For me, accountability looks like regular check-ins with my business coach to make sure that I'm taking the steps I committed to. I'm being accountable to my team, because if we're setting business goals, I need to lead by example. And accountability also looks like tracking progress. So whether it's financial goals, whether it's client projects or internal changes, if it's not measured, it's probably not getting done. If you want real change in your business, find an accountability structure that works for you. That could be a business coach or advisor who keeps you moving forward. It could be a mastermind or a peer group that challenges and supports you. It could be a trusted team member or business buddy who checks in on your progress, and vice versa. Because at the end of the day, business isn't just about setting the right goals, it's actually about having the right support in place to make them happen. The key thing I want you to take away from all of this is that this is your business. You make the rules. And if something isn't working, if things feel messy or chaotic, or if you're stuck in a cycle that isn't serving you, you are the only person who can truly change it. And the best part is that you don't need permission. You don't have to wait for the right time, because the reality is the right time is now. The mid-year reset is your chance to take a step back, to get real about what's really working in your business and what's not, and to make the changes that will set you up for success in the months ahead. If your goals don't fit anymore, then adjust them. If you're spending too much time on the things that don't matter, cut them. If your habits aren't setting you up for success, then reset them. And if you need accountability, get it. Because the best thing about running your own business is that you're in charge. You have the power to change things and build a business that actually works for you, and to create success on your own terms. Decide what's next, take action, and own it. And if you need a business BFF to help you figure it all out, you know where to find me. Thanks for tuning in to the Business BFF. We hope you found this episode equal parts big hug and kick up the bum. All the things a bestie is good for. Remember, you've got this, and we've got your back like only a BFF can. If you've loved what you've heard, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow business besties. Don't forget to follow us on social media at The Women's Accountant for more tips, tricks, and behind-the-scenes fun. Until next time, keep being fierce and oh so fabulous. If you've liked what you've heard today, let us know over on Instagram at The Women's Accountant, and we'd love to hear how you're hitting reset in your business. And if you know a business bestie who needs to hear this, be sure to share this episode with them. Until next time, remember, it's your business and you make the rules.